Old Parson here, coming on Monday, and yesterday we heard the gospel of the Good Shepherd. And today, that gospel continues in the reading for Monday about how Jesus warns the flock. He says, beware of the false shepherds, the false prophets, who come into the sheepfold, not through the gate, they climb in through another way. And so, what our Lord is speaking about are those who preach a gospel, but not his gospel. Because to preach his gospel, you got to come in through the gate, which is Christ. But the Lord also makes an astonishing statement. He says, the false shepherd, the sheep will listen, but they don't recognize his voice. And because they don't recognize his voice, they run away. Well, we're living in a time now where, sadly, many Christian churches, Catholic, Protestant, many churches are preaching a woke gospel, meaning that they look at what the world calls good, virtuous, whether it be any of the big movements happening today. They look at all these things and they put God's blessing on it. And they try to spin it as being the truth. We think of more notoriously of this Sparkle Creed preached in a Lutheran church. Not that the Lutherans hold to it, but this particular pastor did. And what do we find the end result of this woke gospel? Well, the end result is the sheep flee. And so most of these woke churches, I would say the majority of them, are very small because the sheep have long since abandoned them and they have left. And so we find that this is a truth. God has given to us what I call a sensus fidelum, a sense of the faith, that we can discern the truth as opposed to falsehood. And even though it sounds good, or it comes from a pulpit and from a clergyman in fancy robes, or maybe just in a suit, because evangelicals aren't exempt from this either. Many of them are embracing a woke gospel or ignoring very important things on sexual ethics and sexual morality. And so we recognize in all of this a truth, the truth which God calls us to be obedient to his voice and to enter into the sheep through the gate. Not only does the shepherd have to enter through the gate, but if you and I are to be fed by the shepherd, we got to enter in through the gate, meaning that gate is Christ, and it's the truth that Christ came to bring in all of its clarity. And what did Christ do? Well, he came to teach us not only what we must believe, but most important today, he told us how we have to behave. And if we're not willing to live according to his truth, then we have no part in the Good Shepherd. And so our prayer today is that we hear the voice of the Good Shepherd. We're able to discern the truth from falsehood. God's given us that ability to recognize the true voice, and by recognizing it, to respond. God bless you and have a good day.